I've told Clayton before, I actually have never gotten mad unless I've been scared.
Oh, I mean, I think that's, for the most part, why people get upset.
Yeah, I've never been mad unless I've been scared.
And it's hard to see because especially mad, like anger covers up, it becomes such a force or such a energetic push.
Oh, yeah.
That it covers up the thing that is actually happening typically, which is anxiety, fear, sadness, like all those disconnection essentially is what I think. Joss and I were talking about this, I think maybe even with you a little bit, like this concept of to really feel joy, I feel like we only can feel a level of joy in which we felt that same level of sorrow. It's almost, yeah. Like you have to feel a certain degree of real sorrow to feel a certain degree of joy. It's like they're balanced. It's like it's like that whole thing that people say, you can't know light unless you know dark.
Yeah.
It's like one of the things I love about the Pacific Northwest is like the summers are so amazing because it's so overcast all winter. And it's that same concept.
So you have a problem with homelessness in the Northwest, and a lot of that's mental illness, right?
Yeah.
Does the community here embrace that? You're saying no. There's just no people have too much of it on their plate.
I think so, and I think the piece around that I think that's really complicated is I think it's really triggering to see someone.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Without a home. And to have mental health or substance abuse issues, like substance issues, it's triggering because I think part of us knows that could be me. And it's hard, or it could be my brother, or that could be and then we don't, I think it's triggering because we don't know how to deal with it. And so it's easier in some ways to go, can we just push it off to the side and put it somewhere else? Is that possible? So that I don't have to deal with this inside of me. I know I feel that all the time.
I was going to say, I know for me, we were driving home yesterday and there was a homeless person. I don't know why I was only with Joy in the car, but they were using the bathroom out of the side of they did their shorts so they could, and I was thinking that could be anyone. And it's hard to see because that, like there was a time in my life I thought I need to experience homelessness. And it's interesting, Preston told Jayla, so this was, I don't know if anyone knows this, I hope he's okay with me saying this, when they started dating, he said, I've decided that I want to be homeless and go live on the streets for like 6 to 9 months, just so I can feel how people feel, because I feel like I haven't felt that, and I feel like I should. And Jocelyn said, Jayla goes, let's do it. And he goes, okay, so he worked towards doing it. And then he told me about it. I go, Preston, that cannot happen. But I identified with that. Being able to live that, being able to experience it so he could relate. It also showed me a little bit about deep down Preston's heart. Yeah. But he said one of the reasons he fell in love with Jayla was because he'd known her since she was 2, but she goes, then let's do it. And at the time, they had everything. But they wanted to do it, and they did make some cuts. They did do some stuff so they could experience it. And Preston really became, and I don't know if you know this, but very connected to God. Yeah. And very connected. He changed to not that he was this bad person before, but trying to do what was right, trying to really connect and help the world. But I feel like I did give my kids, because of what they saw with me and in my life, the ability to create a boundary. Because I always said to them, don't be like me. Because when I was younger, I would jump in the fire or think I could save someone. Now I realize that was so arrogant of me. I can't change someone. But now for me, it's about how do I help someone that has reached a level of, and again, for me, being lost or sad is not bad. I really don't believe that. I think depression, anxiety is something you need to work through. But I think when you reach a point where you don't care about humanity or others, that's when I'm scared of people, right? I'm not scared of depression or anxiety or people not wanting to live if I can be there for them. I'm scared of the people that have reached a frequency where all they care about is self-gain and power and control, because then you lose the ability to care about someone that doesn't have food, that can't eat. You lose perspective. So I I want to figure out a way, and I feel like with Root and some of the stuff we've done, I do that from a distance a little bit because we open up, we have Root University, we have different things, and we open up to everyone. And there have been people that have said things to me that scared me because people feel like they're close to me, because when you see someone on a screen week after week, sometimes you think you know them.
Yeah.
And I have started developing this boundary that I've even teaching the kids each time. Like I'll say to Duquesne, you don't need to allow that. You don't need to let someone in your life that's going to treat you that way. And I took an approach a little bit different than our family. We had great parents, and I say that they weren't perfect, but they loved us so much.
We were loved.
We were very lucky. We had a mother that just poured all that love. But I wasn't constantly able to express how I felt when I was younger. Probably I told you.
Yeah.
I know we talked, but like with my kids when they were little, because I didn't want them around what I had done, and I didn't want them hurt. Like I taught them to tell me their feelings, like what you did. I wanted to hear all of it, not just the good things.
Yeah, we've really worked of like, it's not just this like all's positive piece.
No, because I felt like I didn't want the kids to have to walk in a room and act perfect if they didn't want to walk in the room. Now maybe I did that wrong. I never pushed the kids to do that. I felt like they're different than me. I'm not going to make them be like me. And I'm not going to make them be social if they don't want to be, because I felt like it's almost like my kids aren't, I don't mean this rudely, I love animals, but they're not an animal that should sit on command, right? Because they have their own hearts. It took them longer, in my opinion, to find their paths because I did that, but I'm glad I did. Do you know what I mean? Like they're each so different, but they're so individual. You see the kids, and part of that probably hurt my family. Do you know what I mean? Because I have left that open to them making those decisions. And I'm not sure I've done it right, but because I think the negative frequencies that sometimes I chose, because I want the audience to know sometimes we choose to be around, we work out our demons or our pain through reacting things. Do you know what I mean?
Well, my thought on that is that when pain goes in, and then we reject it. When we reject it or resist it, we trap it inside. And then to heal it, you're gonna have to feel it again. It's not like it's just to release it. It's coming back out. And so I don't know if we have any way around that. I think it feels as if that's just part of the process.
I feel like you have to work through it, and that includes anger. I mean, sometimes anger towards your parents. I don't know if you'll ever experience that with yours, but I have with mine. I feel like adults, when you become an adult child, there's always something you resent about your parents. Do you know what I mean? And I just think that's universal almost.
Michael Meade, who's a mythologist and was started the men's movement back in one of the people that started back in the 70s or 80s. He says, because he's gone around the world and studied all these myths from old cultures, and he says that one of the oldest myths that's like kind of across the board is that our parents essentially are going to give us they're the grit that we learn who we are. We bounce off of it and we learn out who we are.
I think we choose our parents. Do you think that?
I think so too.
I've never talked to you real. I really kind of think you're in heaven or wherever we are. We choose because we're going to learn a lesson.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think, like he says, it's something.
But how do you define that, Chris, if someone's been hurt really bad by their parents?
Well, again, I think it's hard because in our culture we don't have a community that holds it. Like if you have have
people around you, you can.
Yeah, like for instance, like when I would work with teenage girls that had been raped, in our culture it was very different working with a girl that was working with that, which is a terrible thing, When I worked with Native American, I remember I had to talk to one of my supervisors about this because I was thinking I did something wrong, or I was missing something, because I was like, they hold it so differently. And he said it's because
What do you mean they hold it so differently?
It wasn't like it was this thing that like defined their lives.
Whereas some people, they feel like it defines them.
Which I'm not
judging either.
I'm not judging either one of those things. I'm just saying what he helped me understand was the community holds it so they can hold it in a different way.
Do they mourn that? Like if a girl in that, because I know Mom's family, part of her family was Cherokee and Choctaw. Do they hold? Do they? They don't accept it as okay?
No. It's not that it's okay. It's something about the spiritual beliefs that they have as a culture, as a community.
Yeah.
That can like, it's not. It's hard to even explain. It's not like it's okay. It's just that it is, like in life we have suffering, and it's part of our process of our becoming. And if a community holds it as such, then it doesn't turn out, it's not this thing that is just going to define us for the rest of our life as being bad.
Right. It's just something that happened that's painful, it's not like it's casual, but it's painful. You have to deal with it.
Right.
And we're all going to have pain. Not that I accept that as okay, because one area I couldn't work in was pedophilia.
Yeah.
I could never, as a psychologist and counselor, we're not supposed to judge anyone. And I never could get over, because I had to work with the kids first.
Yeah.
And then the predator. And I never could accept it. Do you know what I mean? Like that was one area. And I realized that weakness about myself, and I was very open about it, or that belief system inside myself. Do you know what I mean? Because it was, and that's a severe.
That's pretty extreme.
That's extreme. That's not typical, but my thing is that's different to me. When a child has gone through that with their own parent or a grandparent or an uncle or someone they know, that's different, right?
Yeah.
But I do think if you bring a community together, because I was a house parent with Jim Cleveland at night with sexually abused kids. The community was what healed those kids. Like even we would do sessions and they would have pillows and we would let them hit the pillow, cry into the pillow. I know you've been through this. But it was interesting how they helped heal each other. What was horrific is when you took them out of that community and had to put them back in an environment where a community didn't support them.
Right, exactly. I mean, imagine like having something like, it doesn't have to be that, just something that was very difficult and very hard to deal with at any point in your life, but then you have a community that helps you work with that.
Yeah. Imagine
then how that becomes this thing. I mean, it can so become a thing that is part of our gift. Like
it's like you work through it and everyone loves you anyway. Like I think one of the things that happens when someone that doesn't intend to bring love or goodness to you and they're trying to harm you, I think when that happens, that you have the ability, if you can work through it, to help so many people. But that's hard to tell people because it sounds callous, and I don't mean that in a callous way.
Well, it's difficult too because we tend to, at least I think in our culture, we have like a rating system of like what is bad, or what's traumatic and what's not as traumatic. And I always say like, look, pain is pain.
Yeah.
Like comparing it makes almost no sense. Like someone will say, well, they have all this money, like why should they? I'm like, they're in pain. I don't know what else to tell you. They're in pain. Yeah. And
you are so right, because I'm going to tell you some of the people that are in the most pain have the most money and the most influence. I don't even know if they know they're in pain because they're chasing money or power. And the truth is, if that's what you're chasing, and I really believe this, and not God or something greater for humanity, then you are lost, right? And that's not a fun place to be.
No, I have a lot. I mean, it's really easy for me to have empathy for someone in that position because I can see that. I can feel it. Back to the beginning of this conversation, I can sense that pain, and
it's like the pain of not having freedom. Do you know what I mean? All right, but when you don't have money, you don't have it either. So that's what I'm saying. It's
true.
Both sides.
Yes, it's true. I actually think that like really what it all boils down to, at the end of the day, is that when we are born, that's the original disconnection that happens from source.
Yeah, okay.
And then in our life, we tend to be moving toward connection or disconnection. It's not black and white, but it's like we're leaning that direction or leaning.
You're choosing which one. You're either going to go towards source or you're going to go away from it.
Right.
That's a really good way. What I love what you're doing here in this space, I think you call it the space, and why we're so excited about it with our community and our group of people, is you're trying to create a safe space. You know, Jocelyn said something to me yesterday that you and I have the ability to have this big vessel where we can hold things. Do you know what I mean? And we don't like judge people because they're this way or this way. And I really don't even have that inside of me. I don't know about you. I don't know how to feel that really. But there's times I get an extreme fear where I can feel a little bit. Does that make sense? Like if you bring me to extreme fear, that's when I've told Clayton before, I actually have never gotten mad unless I've been scared.
Oh, I mean, I think that's for the most part why people get upset.
Yeah, I've never been mad unless I've been scared.
And it's hard to see because especially mad, like anger covers up, it becomes such a force or such a energetic push.
Oh yeah.
That it covers up the thing that is actually happening typically, which is anxiety, fear, sadness, like all those disconnection essentially is what I think.
Yeah.
And I agree. I mean, that's when I do it too. I mean, I feel that all the time, and it's for me what's gotten better as I've gotten older is that if I'm proud of anything, it's just that I can recognize it a little quicker than I used to be able to.
I feel like that too. I've gone through so much. I was talking to Karen Floyd this morning, and she was, I told you, she complimented you. She's so excited about this event. And she said, how does your brother stay so pure and so kind? Because you can feel it, you can see it. And I have so many people say that.
Thank you. I was talking about this earlier a little bit with Clayton, and it's just the idea of faith. Like, I think both of us have faith.
Yeah.
And it's that place that's like, it's like a soft strength, like being connected to something greater than ourselves. And even when things are difficult, it's like, for me, it's like softening into it if I can. Because it's the hardening where I get into like, that's the fear and anxiety. And it's the softening into this kind of space, where again, it's like vulnerable, like you cry, and it's like, it all of a sudden makes me, it's like a blooming, it's like all of a sudden there's this like opening that happens because you are brave enough to do that. And then it allows me the option or the opportunity to also meet you in that place.
Yeah, I promised myself when I did all of this that I would not lose me. And I've experienced fear, and I've experienced great fear, just like you have, we all have. And I admit it, and I admit the pain, I admit the things I've been through. I never want to disrespect anyone that's in my past. Because I feel like that's part of my journey, and I don't need to disrespect them or take a stance that will hurt anyone in any podcast or any kind of interview.
Yeah.
I am very always hesitant about our family because I want our family to know how much I love them.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. We've all had our own journey, but I think. For me, you call it source. I call it God. I could care less.
I say God too.
I don't care what people call it though. For me,
and
that's people get tied up in the word. I'm like, I don't want to be tied up in a word. I just don't care what you call it. I call it, or what I call it. But I believe that, again, that was one of the most precious things that I was taught being little. That there's something greater than us.
I agree.
And there's someone that loves me no matter what, right? Because as a kid, I used to envision being held, and for me, that's why hugging and holding people are important, because you have to find a safe space. And I think it does go back to faith. I think you have to have faith, because when you die, you understand, I know you know this, you're gonna have to have faith. We don't actually know exactly what's gonna happen.
Definitely not.
When people tell me that, I'm like, I have to have faith that whatever happens is what was meant to be, because the Bible, for example, we were brought up around that. Now I've read the Quran, I've read, I've been around everything, and I've been exposed to all of it. And for me, one of the things is I choose love. I don't choose judgment, because I don't have a right. Like, the truth is, neither one of us do, right? So with the frequency thing, it's a struggle for me. I'm just going to go back to that. This place, when I walked in, has the most positive, amazing energy and frequency because of your imprint and your love and your intention. Like Joy said to me, Jocelyn and Chris have such great energy and such great intention about each thing that they do. And she goes, have you shared that with your mom and dad? I was telling Dad, you know, some of the great things here. You have a softer approach than me. It's not a worse approach. It's a different approach.
Yeah, we're just different.
You need different,
Yeah.
right? And then Mary Margaret may come in here with her list that we
Yeah.
would.
Totally. I like this. I was saying this earlier. I like this idea of like we're all going up to the same-ish place. We might have a different word for it, but
Yeah.
like I just use the mountain as we're
Yeah.
going to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
But we each are taking a different path.
Yeah.
And we have our own pace.
Yeah.
It's both. It's like, and so like I'm not gonna like yours is yours. Why am I gonna get upset about that?
Yeah.
Like that's your path and your pace, and I'm gonna have mine. And the concept that I have around like this space is that like I didn't want it to be one way.
Yeah.
And that's sort of my personality, you know.
Yeah.
But I wanted it to be able to hold like your pace, my
Yeah.
pace, my path, your path, all these different ones, because we learn so much from each other.
You need
From
that too. You need a CEO. I'm being honest with you. CEOs, governors, lieutenant governors, senators, I'm going to use any one of, they need a safe space too. You know
Yeah.
that. And homeless people need a safe space.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a safe space. Now, a person in that position may say, I don't want to go somewhere where there's a homeless person.
Right.
If there's a homeless person that comes in and they have a really bad frequency and they're trying to hurt everyone, I understand. But people need to know that there are homeless people that are very good people
Oh yeah.
that just ended up in that situation. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens with this space. Like, one of the things I love about Clayton is he would never tell someone, he would probably spend more time with someone that was homeless than someone that had a lot of money to teach them about our company, because he wants them to make money and to feel empowered. And I feel like this space you've created is a perfect environment to bring people that aren't perfect, that are working towards a better frequency every day. Because if you stop developing, if you stop evolving, you're stagnant.
Yeah.
And I love what Jocelyn, I love what she's gone through, only because I've been there. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't able to.
Well, me too.
Well, you've seen me there.
Well, I was there too.
Yeah, you've seen me there. So like, it's not a criticism, and we've got to learn to empower. And it also, people need to understand, when people go through pain, they get to choose how they go through it. My choice is to stay at home.
Yeah.
My choice is to be surrounded by people I love. I understand traditional choices, which I empower people to do that too. But this is a space where I really think you can impact people regardless of what they're going through. And I'm super excited to see what you guys do here. And I'm super excited that we're going to have some events here.
Me too.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank
I
you.
love you.
I love you too.